Match day 24 in the books. City start off the weekend rolling Everton, but leaving it pretty late, grabbing a 2-0 victory. Elsewhere, Liverpool snatch all 3 points against Burnley. The late window of Saturday provided a thriller with Newcastle and Forest back and forth. Newcastle maybe able to get rolling now. Who knows? We'll see. Arsenal thrashing West Ham Sunday, leaving questions about David Moyes. And Monday, Chelsea leave it late to grab all 3 points against Crystal Palace. We will cover everything from Matchweek 24 and Preview 25. This is the Premiership Cruiser Podcast.
Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Back, Fuchs, and the ball in behind Damian Bunny! It's 11! It's heaven for Jamie Vardy!
You are an ostrich. Well, your head must be in the sand. Is your head in the sand? Are you flexible enough to get your head in the sand?
Now the fans are shouting every week, Louis van Gaal's army! Louis van Gaal's army!
Feet after a fabulous start, the game just got away from you there.
I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say about the game at all.
Drama from day one! This is the league we want to watch!
Oh, Sammy.
Well.
I missed last week. I got to listen to the monologue on the plane home. It made me very happy. It was great.
No one to keep me in my place when I just start
it's just
spewing
unhinged,
absolute
and
garbage.
Well,
That's what you need.
yeah, you just roll it. It's like stand-up comedy. You got to roll with the punches.
What's the deal with Everton?
Oh, what is the deal with Everton? They can't convert their chances, to say the least, right now. They had chances in this game, plenty of chances.
Yeah.
Do we hop into the first game?
Let's get right into it. Yeah, like you're saying, this one, very much a Man City at home performance. Lots of possession, working the ball around, 9 million passes in and around the box. But then on the other hand, you had Everton looking to hit on the break. You mentioned them having some chances, but unable to convert on their chances, just not clinical enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that they're getting so many chances, but it was really a testament to how sloppy Man City were. They were constantly turning the ball over in their defensive third and in the mid third.
Yeah.
And especially when it was in the mid third, it was like passing back toward, not necessarily towards their own goal, like it was going to outfield players still, but it was just so sloppy, very un-City like.
Yeah, absolutely. Really allowing Everton to get somewhat in the game when they really should not have been in the game whatsoever.
No, yeah, Everton was just trying to kind of, mark as best as possible and kind of make it inconvenient on City, but City were quite literally passing the ball to Everton.
Yeah.
And they had a couple early chances.
Yes, they did. And also a big moment pretty early on. Ben Godfrey, coming off of one of those turnovers from City, he goes in for a challenge on Ederson and then gives out a little kick out.
Yeah, on Ederson's face.
On his face.
On his face.
Nothing given for that. VAR says that's absolutely A-okay, and you know what? I'm here for it.
It's about time. It's about time Everton catch some breaks.
That's
it makes
true.
you just wonder, like, who is in charge of VAR? It doesn't even. There's just no rhyme or reason to any call. It's the Hans Hasenhudl spin of the wheel for the lineups, but now it's transferred over to VAR. It's just like, is it good? It's good. Yep. Okay.
So we're doing the Scooby Doo pull the mask off. Underneath the mask of VAR is
It's the wheel.
Ralph
The
Hasenhutl's
whole the
wheel.
Hasenhüttl wheel. Yeah.
No
That's
one
all it is.
expected the Hasenhüttl wheel.
No, no one did. Uh, yeah, Everton even had a couple chances, whereas they're half chances, but they were taken so badly. Like
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin had one in like the middle of the first half where he just
Mhm.
it was like one of the worst shots you'll ever see.
Yeah.
It was like a chip, but it was flat and it was low and it was soft and it didn't make sense. It was terrible.
Yeah, he did not look very good in this game, to say the least.
Yes.
Goes in halftime, 0-0. Everton frustrating Man City with their defense.
Yeah, I can't really remember that City did much
There weren't many
in attack.
chances.
No.
I
No. And
mean,
even now it's people are really kind of coming around to the Doku is not it chief
yeah,
uh kind of thing. I'm just glad that I called his peak and after that I sold his stock.
that's true.
It's like a quick like crypto altcoin kind of thing, a little meme coin for you, some like Doge or something where you buy it and you're like, all right, quick sell, it's over.
Old pump and dump from Hankster.
Yeah, yeah, I felt good about it. But like you said, halftime 0-0, and then second half, a little bit of change, but not right away to start. No subs until I want to say around like the 60th minute.
Yeah,
Um,
57, they brought on Walker and De Bruyne.
yeah, once De Bruyne is on, I mean De Bruyne right now might be the best player in the world at the moment. It must be said the way he's clicking.
Instant
Um,
impact.
yeah, I mean, and you might as well just save him for a game like this. It's like, can we beat Everton without him? No? Okay, well, throw him on for the last, 30 and we'll for sure
Yeah,
get the job done.
and they did just that. 71 minutes in, they get the opening goal after Everton fail to clear from a corner. And who else is there to clean it up? None other than Erling Haaland, the
Is he
latest
back?
ice cream connoisseur, Erling Haaland. Did
I
you
guess
see
he's
that?
back now. No, I didn't. What was it?
He now has his own brand of ice cream, and it is just
Wow.
called Holland.
Holland.
Hey, give me some of that Holland.
Give me the Holland. Give me the vanilla Holland. Give me the chocolate Holland.
Yes,
Sounds weird
exactly.
because it's almost like you're gonna say Hollandaise or whatever it's called. The what people put on like poached eggs or eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean Everton didn't really have much going on in attack in this half. They were really kind of set on sitting back, and then Holland able to get all the way through off the feed from De Bruyne. I mean, De Bruyne just able to work the middle of the field the way he does is truly incredible.
Yeah.
It was night and day um, when he's out there and when he's not able to walk through guys. He just slides Holland in one-on-one with Pickford and he slots it to make it 2-0.
Yeah, Holland there, just big brothering Branthwaite
That was a
shrugging him
stiff
aside.
arm. That was a stiff arm if I've ever seen one.
That was tough to watch if you're an Everton fan, that's for sure.
You know what? Everton scored though, but they were offside by about, I don't know, 10 feet.
Yeah,
I
was
remember it was Beto maybe,
it was quite offside.
Dobbin, someone. Someone scored and they were offside. That's all I remember from Everton in this game, and the fact that all their chances in the first half were just wasted.
Yes.
City, keep on rolling. You're feeling good. Are the odds increasing now? Just because Liverpool is actually getting the injury bug once again?
Yeah, I mean it's inevitable. To be honest though, this performance was a little bit like, oh, I mean, that was a little harder than it had to be. And like we were talking about in the first half, the defense not very good.
Yeah, I mean, going from Matthias Nunes to Kevin De Bruyne, it's like flipping a switch.
Slight upgrade.
Just
Slight upgrade.
yeah, so huge for City. I mean, Foden's been rolling lately. Didn't do a ton in this game. I think he had a goal or an assist or two in the midweek Champions League game. So he's still rolling. Holland's looks like he's still going to get rolling. Julian Alvarez kind of slowing down a teeny bit, but just when you think he slows down, he'll get a brace against Chelsea this weekend or something. So
He does seem
it'll be
to pop
interesting
up
to see.
at weird times. Kind of like Foden. Foden,
Yeah, they just
one
get
or two
hot, and then people out of
times.
nowhere are like, it's amazing. And then they compare him to like Saka and maybe not Salah, but like the Saka tier attackers. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's up there. And it's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe. On a
Maybe,
game-to-game basis, maybe. But
yeah,
for
not
a season, I would
consistently.
much rather have, yeah. For a season, I don't think it's really comparable.
Yeah.
Let's move on. A little Fulham Bournemouth action.
Home Merchants, Fulham.
Yeah.
Merchantine once again.
Yeah, they're back. They kind of left for a little hot minute. Now they're back.
Well, you know what?
Oh,
They got Rodrigo Muniz.
yeah. Who's that? Who's this guy?
He's
He's
cooking.
amazing.
He's
Yeah, he's
cooking.
amazing.
Speaking of cooking, Fulham, right off the bat, capitalizing on a slip from Lewis Cook. Going Stevie G on the bit. Bobby D. Cordova Reed. Able to get the finishing touch on that one.
I think my favorite part about this was that all I heard was the Fulham cheering, and I didn't see anything. And I look up, and the replay's coming on, and the announcer goes, "Oh yeah, they a little bit of fortune for Fulham, a slight slip." And then I watch it, and it's just Lewis Cook like completely wiped out, and no one's
Yeah.
near him, and the ball's sitting like on a tee. Cordova Reed. It's like, yeah, no, maybe just a little bit.
Just
Maybe
a
just a
little
slight.
fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he? So he's their top scorer this year. Is that right?
Bobby Reed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they said that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, when you think
5
about it,
goals.
it's kind of been sharing the
Soon it's going to
workload.
be Rodrigo Munoz. He might even take Rodri's name. We just call him Rodri.
Rodri.
How good he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, because they have Broya, and his one goal came against Fulham. So big ups to that lad. Yeah, I mean, I Bournemouth just came out so flat, and defensively they were very kind of like stand pat, just like I think we're just gonna let Fulham dribble right at us with a head of steam, or just let them like cross the ball in whenever they want. Willian was kind of just cooking, honestly. He had a really good chance to make it 2-0. Fulham had a few chances to make it 2-0 inside the first like 20 minutes that were like, how is it not 2-0?
Yeah, it was a rough game from Bournemouth. I mean, like I said, they just came out looking very flat on both ends of the pitch. Offensively, they didn't look very sharp and
Yeah, the attack buildup
didn't
was
have a
just
whole
not
lot
good.
going on in terms of
Sinisterra is one of those guys where you can just kind of tell if it's good to go right away or not, and it was not cooking this game. Alex Scott also kind of a rough game. I mean, Fulham had a few chances, but then Bournemouth's first real good chance, honestly, was around the 30th minute off a corner. Dom Solanke slipped free. Kind of a weird, almost like handcuffed him, but with his feet. He really needed to get like the outside boot
foot cuffed him.
on it. Yeah, but he couldn't angle his foot in the right direction, and the ball kind of sailed on him off the corner. But he was fully unmarked from like 2 yards out. But
Yeah.
it was a tough one.
Yeah, big chance. And then 5 minutes later, first one for Rodrigo Muniz. Willian crossing to Bobby Reed, who heads across goal for Muniz, who did well get in front of his defender.
I felt like, do you think it was more on, I forget if it was Zabarni or Senesi. I think it was Zabarni.
I thought it was, but
Maybe it was. But do you think it was his fault or Neto's fault? Because I felt like the center back clearly is like, I'm just going to shield him. and I need Neto to come out. But
Yeah.
Neto was like pretty late at coming out and reading that.
Hmm.
So I felt like he could have cleared it, but also Neto should have just been there in the first place. Regardless, Rodrigo does an amazing job to actually get there and get his foot on it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think both thought the other was going to do more than they ended up doing, and ultimately ending up just allowing Rodrigo Muniz to get on the header score.
Mm-hmm. Goes in halftime 2-1. Second half, Bournemouth respond. Little mad scramble. Ball kind of pinging around, and Senesi just drops a beautiful finish, man.
It was
Just a little
class.
laser.
Nice
Yeah.
control, nice finish, getting Bournemouth back in the game, but it didn't last long. 2 minutes later, Fulham respond. Willian drops a perfect cross at the back post for Muniz, who scores with a first-time finish.
That was nice. That was such a good ball by Willian. About crap my pants when I watched it. And Mooney is just a rocket from like 6 yards out.
Yeah,
Roofs it. Oh, amazing. Terrible marking by Bournemouth, but amazing, amazing ball and just attacking play by Fulham.
yeah.
After that, Bournemouth kind of was piling on a little bit in terms of pressure. Um, but nothing that really stood out in terms of amazing chances. They kind of had to settle for some stuff. I thought Unal came on and he looked decent for them. Not like amazing or stood out or anything, but for a team that like just goes on runs of who's hot for their attacking kind of playmakers, I feel like getting him in there, he could potentially kind of solidify himself as uh their main kind of 10 or creative winger kind of guy because I mean, he's one of those guys who has pedigree as far as like he's like it wasn't he was he a Real Madrid guy or City guy? He's some like prospect for a big club and he just didn't work out, so he's at like a mid-table club in Spain lately, but those guys sometimes you just never know. Sometimes they just blossom late and it happens for him. So keeping my eye on him. We'll see. Then again, maybe he'll just be inconsistent like a lot of Bournemouth's attackers minus Big Dom.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a City youth guy. I remember writing a blog post on him way back in the day.
There you go. He's one of those guys who turns into like a 90 overall in FIFA, and then you're like, what happened to him?
Well,
Where did he go?
I remember when he was in the youth setup, he was scoring like just insane amounts of goals. It was like, okay, well, this guy has to be like at least decent, right? I mean, you don't
Yeah,
score that many goals, even if it's just at a youth level.
yeah. So we'll see. Bournemouth better days lie ahead maybe, but they are kind of cooling off a bit. They got to get another win here soon.
Yeah.
Um, Fulham on the other hand, good rebound, good response. Uh, I don't know. It's a home game for Fulham, and they play well at home. They got another home game this weekend, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on. Liverpool and Burnley.
Liverpool.
Mbappe FC. Liverpool.
That's right. That
He's gonna be
is
waiting for some beautiful passes from Curtis Jones and Endo. That's what he's gonna be doing.
Hmm.
He's gonna be tapping in rebounds once Darweezy hits the post. That's what they're
under
bringing Mbappe in for.
Gary O'Neill.
Xabi Alonso, bro. Do you actually think they're gonna get him? I don't.
No.
I think he's gonna go to Madrid.
I think there's only one team that could even pay for being
Oh
Real
yeah,
Madrid. I mean,
Barcelona.
other than
Lever
PSG
FC, brother.
themselves. You know,
Lever
the
FC.
amount of money that
Well,
he
PSG is
gets
about to
paid is
blow all their
insane.
money on Mr. Osimhen, who had one stinker of a AFCON. We're getting off topic. Let's get the Liverpool Burnley.
Yes.
We're off topic because Burnley just were very bad. in
Avoid
this
it.
game.
Run from it. Burnley.
Yes. That's all you can do. You can get away with rotation against Burnley. Liverpool honestly didn't even look like that amazing to start.
No, typical slow Liverpool start. I mean,
Yeah.
combined with the fact that they, didn't have Allison in this one.
Yeah, Kelleher had to come up big a few times. I will say
Yeah,
that.
it did.
And it's one of those things where you don't necessarily know if Burnley was going to actually score or do anything with their chances because their finishing is quite poor most of the time. But yeah, I mean, given what Liverpool were doing, and obviously we'll get to the Trent having to be subbed off and he's going to be out for a while talk, but I mean, it's not given that like Kwanzaa's going to be playing well the whole time and stuff like that. Burnley did capitalize a little bit, but Liverpool playing pretty comfortable in the first half, and they get the opener. It's that man, Sam. He's in form. It's Diego Jota, the diver himself, the most informed gold medalist of divers.
Gold medal diver. Absolutely. Some suspect goalkeeping out of James Trafford on that one coming out. And just going with a big old whiff.
Yeah, not in the right position. I gotta say, I'm just gonna throw this out there. You can tell me if I'm wrong, and I don't think there's any way to prove it nor disprove it. I think Burnley might have the worst set of like 3 kits I think anyone's ever had in a Premier League season. All 3 of their kits suck.
I mean, I think they're not good, but I think there's a lot worse kits. I mean,
can't
this
stand 'em.
yellow one is pretty awful.
It's
Yeah.
bad. It's like maroon, like fading to black spray paint stripe on the one
It
side.
is pretty
It's so bad.
It is.
Um, Burnley do get the equalizer right before half, kind of out of nothing. Dara
Yeah.
O'Shea, Sam.
Yeah, just kind of catching Liverpool sleeping. They get a rare corner. Like you said, Darrow O'Shea making sure of it with a strong header into the back of the net. Catching Liverpool off guard. Goes into halftime, 1-1. Second half, Liverpool don't take too long to get back in the lead. This time, Luis Diaz scoring from close range after a deflected pass from Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool are really going to have to rely on a few of these other guys like Harvey Elliott and Gakpo to actually get going in terms of the attack with Alexander Arnold out. Because right now, I mean, Shimikas is fine. I know you like him, and I like him for what he is. But we'll see with no Salah and now no Trent. I mean, that's going to be massive.
Yeah, I mean, at least Salah should be coming back pretty soon, I would think, within the next game or two.
You'd think, but you never know, and that's one of those things where you re-aggravate it, makes it even worse. So
It could.
we'll see.
Yeah, and your guy, Hank, David Datro Fofana, coming off the brace in the last game, he looked absolute terrible in this one. He had a couple
He
huge
got locked up.
chances.
Yeah.
Just some
He was having a rough go.
finishing.
He wanted to respect Kelleher. He's trying to force a Kelleher move to a team that needs a goalie.
Yeah.
It's absurd that he's not on another team. Like, how is he not on Nottingham Forest? Where are you, Nottingham Forest?
Yeah. Or Sheffield United.
Okay, come on.
I mean, not now. They got,
First off, well, they have Wes Foderingham
they
is
got
forever
Lord
meant to be
Wesley.
their goalie. Because, their goalies just get hurt, and then it's Wes Foderingham forever.
Yeah, exactly. Foderingham forever. Name of the episode.
Yeah, and Burnley had some guy that I had never heard of.
They've got a few guys that just kind of popped up.
Masengo? Who's that guy?
They got Masengo. They got Asenyan. They got Esteve. It's like,
yeah, Esteve
I must have
too.
been sleeping. I don't I don't remember where these guys came from.
And the thing that makes me feel the worst about it is it's very much like it's like the football hipsters kind of like analytics Twitter people that are like, "Oh, this guy's great. He's so good. This is exactly what Burnley need and stuff." It's like, you know what they don't need? Another like 22-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they need that. I'm no expert. I'm not saying they need like J-Rod to come out and play more, but like I think they need more established guys. But it's too
Yeah,
late anyways. So,
I agree.
Darweezy scored.
Darweezy sealing the 3 points with a headed goal.
Darwin Nunes. He
Again,
came
Harvey
from
Elliott.
Benfica to the Big Reds. All right, continue.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's about it. You know, Liverpool, not the best performance. I think that's safe to say, but got the job done.
Yeah. Are you feeling more confident in Liverpool post Klopp and potentially post Salah after seeing Darweezy actually play half decent? I mean, Jota, we just know it's a matter of injuries with him. Luis Diaz, it's been an up and down year, and I think that's part of the family thing going on. Really has a big part of that.
Yeah.
Also, he's had a nick or two, you know, once in a while, but it's just been a weird year for him. But at least Darweezy was the main thing. It's like, but do you feel confident in him? Are you feeling better about
Mm,
their chances or no? Because I feel like with Klopp, I mean, that's a world class manager, so he's going to be able to get the most out of Nunes. I just feel like if you put the wrong guy in there, it could go south quick. But who knows?
yeah, I think without Klopp, you know, eventually without Salah, sooner or later, probably sooner, more likely, I would say.
Yeah,
I just I think it's pretty easy to see this team delve back into the, sixth,
four,
seventh,
five, six, seven.
yeah, pre-Klopp.
I could see it, but I just don't know where. Because they still have class with Robertson and Alexander Arnold, but Van Dyke, he's just not the same guy. 32,
Yeah,
post knee. He's still good. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to be his peak self, but he's still good. But yeah, you're right.
but it's like,
Uh
I mean, McAllister's good, but is he going to be like a top player? I don't think so. Curtis Jones, he's just like a squad player. Harvey Elliott, I mean, he's decent, but again, is he a top player? I don't think so. Cody Gakpo, I think that's
I don't
kind of the
either, but it
same.
is the Harvey Elliott's 20. You know,
That's true. He's got a while.
Curtis Jones 23, McAllister 25. Room to grow and stuff, but there's just so much they got to do to rebuild part of the midfield and stuff too. And get it a little more. They're gonna have to get some center back depth here shortly. So I don't know. We'll see. It's obviously such a big job though. Attract some big names. I just don't know. I just have a hard time imagining it comes from the Premier League. Did you see the Ainge leaving Tottenham rumors for Liverpool?
No, no, I didn't see
I
that.
saw that and I was like, that's just so forced. That's so forced. Why would Postecoglou go to Liverpool? I don't get that.
I think it'd be pretty funny, to be honest, but
I mean, it'd be funny, but
I'd
what?
like to see it.
I don't understand why that would happen.
I think he'd be the
I
best successor, honestly.
probably,
The
but I just don't.
the
I don't see it.
managerial availability these days is so uninspiring. It is
It's
so
because,
uninspiring.
well, first off, we've been on a player turn, and getting totally off topic, but we've been on a player turn from the older kind of guys moving on to younger generation and need guys to fill in. There's been, I think a lot of people would say that it isn't as good as the past generation, but it's gonna get there. It's pretty good. The managerial thing with guys like Mourinho and stuff still being rumored with top jobs, it's just because there's not that many big names out there. Like, what has
Exactly.
Mourinho done lately to prove that he should be doing that? He should at best be doing like a national team job for like a decent country.
Right. I mean,
That's like what he should be doing. And even guys like Tuchel and stuff are just having really rough goes. There's
yeah.
not a ton of options, you know.
No. I mean, Enrique, that doesn't inspire me Hansi Flick, that's kind of a shot in the dark, I would say.
I don't know what to make of him because
Yeah,
Germany's national team is so odd at the
yeah,
moment. I don't know who does what with that. So I can't
exactly.
judge him off that. And he won the UCL with peak Bayern. So congratulations.
Yeah, you need to see him tested in a different kind of
Yeah,
environment to see.
real quick before we move on. I mean, other than De Zerbi, maybe if Newcastle moved on from Howe, that would be like a Nuno, like seventh option kind of scenario for Liverpool, where they might consider him.
Maybe.
Um, Otherwise, I just don't know. I think they're gonna pluck someone from a different league.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's move on.
All right.
Maybe Vincent Company fails upwards. Get Vincent Company.
Get out of here. Send that man to the champion where he belongs with his hat and suit. All
Well,
right.
one of these teams belongs in the championship, and I don't think the score indicates which team it is in this next game.
Yeah. Tough one.
Happy Hatters, bros. I don't feel so good.
Luton versus Sheffield United. This is one,
Maybe it's Chris Wilder for Liverpool.
on paper you think Luton should win this game, but for some reason they have kind of struggled with the lower teams.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Sheffield loaded up on defense in this game and the midfield. They packed the midfield. They're virtually playing low block against Luton, which might be the most shameless thing anyone's done all year.
Yeah,
It's the
Chris
most
Wilder
shameless
doesn't
thing
care.
since Conte Tottenham
I don't
from
think
an
anything
aesthetics
will
football
ever
point of view. I
top
know that's
that.
why I said that's been the lowest since then. Because they really just crammed everyone back, and Luton, they really made Luton work for it in terms of attack and the making them work in the midfield too.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Luton were just pushing too far forward, allowing themselves to get exposed on the counter. That was evidenced by Chris Archer in the 30th minute, making a great run down the left hand side, gets in behind and scores. I can't believe this guy's playing. It should be Ollie McBurney.
I don't understand, and I don't think I ever really will. We've been calling for it since the start of the year. It's like, why is he not playing? Even like if you're just looking at backup stuff, like how is Brewster not over like Ollie McBurney? What does Ollie McBurney provide for your team?
Wow, Brewster, I'm not sure he provides.
Well, he sucks
Other
too,
than
but
red
that's at
card.
least he at least provides a spark more than McBurney, who can do nothing, convert penalties. That's it, win headers. Um, yeah, Cam Archer coming on. If they go down, I think it'd be interesting that someone would potentially snap him up.
Possibly. And then 5 minutes later, Sheffield United is awarded a penalty after a handball on Reece Burke in the box.
That was my favorite thing about this game is that each team got a penalty because the other team did the exact same thing.
Yes, it,
It
it
was the
was.
same play.
I mean, I appreciate the consistency in the refereeing. I'll say that.
Yeah, they leave the good refereeing and consistency to Sheffield Luton. And then big games, the refs fucking poop their pants.
Yeah.
They can't function. Because
So
it was Chris Kavanaugh in this
yes,
one.
proper referee Chris Kavanaugh.
Well, we'll hold our horses. We'll see.
Yeah, I say that with a grin on my face. But anyways, James McAtee steps up, scores, and Sheffield United find themselves up 2-0 through 36 minutes. It
That's
didn't feel right, based
No.
on the way the game was going, but that's what happened. Goes into halftime 2-0. Second half, Luton get that penalty on the other end. This time,
Yes.
Vinny Souza commits a handball in the box. Carlton Morris steps up, pulls one back with his trademark scuffed penalty that he always takes.
Yeah, look good though.
But you know what? Vinny Souza redeemed himself
Yeah,
with a class finish.
that was a blast.
Yeah, Cameron Archer dispossessed, but Sheffield United able to maintain possession. Osborne finds Vinny Souza, who scores with a blast, like you said, past Kaminsky. That seals the deal. No chance for Luton to get back into this one. Huge win for Sheffield
Yeah, I
in
thought
a
Luton just
must-win.
couldn't. Luton really couldn't exploit the talents of Adebayo. Use his strength and speed to get him in open space and stuff, and that was tough. And Ross Barkley, not a great game from him. I would say really Doughty and your boy Fat Albert Lakanga. Um, really were the only ones kind of on the ball today as far as what we expect from Luton. And then give props to Sheffield. You know, this is how they kind of should be playing. But to be fair, they'll play like this and then they still get broken down because their defense sucks so much. Um, yeah, all in all, good counterattack performance by Sheffield. Maybe they go on a little burner here. I just can't believe they're able to score multiple goals without Ben Barrett and Diaz.
That's true.
That's pretty incredible, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
Still 0% chance they stay up.
Well, 0. I don't think you can ever say 0, especially with the possible points deduction.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Did you? I don't know if you talked about it because it's escaping my memory last pod. But did you talk about how Mason Holgate is the first player to ever debut for two separate sides in a season and lose 5-0?
I did not mention that stat.
Because he was on loan at Southampton earlier this year, and his first game they lost 5-0. And now this game he gets recalled and then sent back out to Sheffield, and it's they lost 5-0 to Villa last weekend. Or well, 2
Nice.
weekends ago now. That's quite the record to have. I don't think anyone's topping that one.
Call that instant impact.
Yeah, something like that.
All right,
Speaking
moving
of
on to the next
rather
game.
than instant impact, this was more like late impact. Late impact FC Tottenham Hotspur.
Absolutely, late impact FC. That is the truth. Tottenham versus Brighton. Brighton, I thought looked pretty good in this game.
I think that both sides actually looked really good in this game. This might have been the most entertaining game of the whole weekend.
Yeah, it was a
Brighton
good game.
definitely looked definitely looked better than what they have the last
Yeah.
I don't know, two months maybe? Maybe they've had a winner, so that was, obviously seems like it'd be a better result than this like the Palace game, but I don't know. I mean, since the last time they played Tottenham where they won 4-2, like I don't know. It's been a while since they played this well. So, uh that's the nice thing about Tottenham is they play open, so it's like teams will go for it and stuff. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, yeah, Brighton some good counterattack chances. They awarded a penalty pretty early on.
Yeah.
It's your boy, Danny Welbeck taken out. Pascal Gross, Sam.
He can't
Steps up.
stop. He can't stop scoring, this guy.
He's
Pascal
so
Gross.
good.
Scoring,
He's
assisting.
so good.
He does it all.
Someone should buy him right now.
Don't look
Buy
at his
him right
age.
now.
Just buy him.
You don't ask questions. Just pay. Todd Bowley.
Eyeball.
Write a check. Shut up and pay, Todd Bowley.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean this after that it kind of slowed down a little bit. But
Yeah,
not for
Tottenham
long.
got more into the game as the first half went on. There was a big chance for Richarlison. He had a 1v1 with Jason Steele, but had it saved. And then Mitoma had a shot saved by Vicario after a mistake out of the back from Tottenham. Just there was some end-to-end action that was pretty entertaining from both sides. Both looking to get forward pretty fast.
Yeah, it was definitely, like we said, an open game. I just really like. How do you feel about Werner so far for Tottenham?
I think he is like Brennan Johnson on the other side.
Yeah, he's just a runner.
He's just a runner. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't really provide all that much. I mean, I guess he can get an assist or two.
yeah, it's
He's
pretty good.
young,
That's all you can ask from him. I
but
mean, he only had like 13 goals for Chelsea in like 3 years.
yeah, he
So
cannot finish to save his.
Richarlison really fell off this week, unfortunately for Tottenham. They've been clicking. Thought Madison was kind of limited in this one. Brighton, then again, just did a good job,
Mhm.
um, kind of controlling the space stuff around him. I thought Brighton's defense was actually really solid. This is probably one of my favorite Van Hecke games, honestly. I
Oh,
thought yeah, that's saying a lot
that is
because
saying
I
a lot.
don't think much. I don't think much of him, but that's how it goes.
Yeah. So this one goes into halftime, 1-0. Brighton with the lead going into half. Second half, Spurs finally force their way through. Popsar scoring off a
Popsar.
rebound after his initial attempt to square the ball was deflected back to him. Just a little alley-oop to himself, if you will.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Him getting a yellow for jumping over the boards, that's stupid.
That is stupid.
Yeah, I'll just say it right now.
What kind of rule is that? That's not even a rule.
Yeah,
We're making up rules. What is this, men's league basketball? We're making up rules.
yeah, we are. That's for sure. Um,
But I digress.
yeah, I mean the game changed a little bit too when they brought on that kind of like triple sub, um, with the Son, Brennan Johnson, and Basuma coming on. Totally different kind of outlook dynamic to the team after that.
Yeah,
Um,
it felt like after that sub, they just kind of dominated.
yeah. Um, I Brighton, it's just so weird that they can't just play their regular kind of lineup, but they're finally getting a few guys back. Um, Ansu Fati coming back in this one. Evan Ferguson is gonna have to step up more now because you know, João Pedro is gonna be out for a little bit. So we will see. But seeing guys like Baleba and stuff, it's like, gosh, Brighton is so deep that I think they can sustain this run. Even, De Zerbi will probably leave at the end of the year. I still feel good about it because the infrastructure of the club is pretty solid, but I don't know. We'll see. But Sam, your guy Brennan Johnson, cap it off.
Yeah, after I was
It's the
smack
winner.
talking him, comparing him to Timo Werner.
He says, I score the goal once in a while, not get the assist once in a while. Get it
Yeah.
right.
To be fair though, this one, was a
Well,
pretty
yeah.
simple finish. Great counterattack from Tottenham, just breakneck pace. Son getting down the wing, getting in behind, squaring it across to Brennan Johnson for the winner, the late winner. Tottenham, they do it once again. Late impact FC, as you name them
Deem them.
so aptly.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say it was undeserved. They were the better side, I would say.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Even though Brighton played well, I think Tottenham played just that much better. And 2-1 was probably a fair scoreline. So,
Yeah, I think so.
so Tottenham jump Villa in this one this week. You just peg them for fourth? Do you think they could maybe jump to third, or you think third's a little too much?
They're not getting third.
Okay. So they're fourth, maybe fifth if they drop off in form and
I think it'll
Villa
be
kind of find form again.
a tight race between Tottenham, Villa, and United. It sounds crazy to say, but United are coming into form.
Are you sure that it's not just February? Can
We'll
they do it
see.
outside of February?
Yeah,
We don't
exactly.
know.
That's the
It can't
question.
be proven.
That's the question.
We um let's move on to the next game here.
Yeah. Moving on. Wolves versus Brentford. We talked about Luton versus Sheffield United, kind of one of those games where you expect a team to win, but then they just kind of slip up. I think this was one of those for Wolves.
I don't know. Brentford with Tony is like a different animal. And this whole idea that Tony isn't worth 100 mil and can't play for a team like Arsenal or Chelsea or one of the big clubs is, I think it's just insanity. I don't
Yeah.
know what else you have to do. He's a complete player. I just we'll get to his goal and stuff and his impact on this team, but how can you say anything else?
Yeah. I mean,
As
especially with it being such a in need position too.
well, I, there's just not many world class strikers, and I just don't know how you can't look at Tony and what he's done over the last few years and say he's world class. Either the Premier League is the best league, or for sure second or third league. You know,
Mhm.
it's definitely a top three league. You could make the case it's the best. I would say it's the best, but I just don't. I don't know if this guy's constantly netting between 15 and 20 something goals. I think he's deserving to be on one of the top teams. I mean, that's where we're at right now. Like, what striker at Chelsea or Arsenal is better than Tony? None.
Eddie
Which ones are better
Nketiah.
than which ones are better than Dom Solanke?
Well, I mean,
That's at least a debate,
you're
but
getting
it's
into
that's the
question mark
case.
territory.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my point. But no one would ever say Dom Solanke's, world class and stuff like that. But he puts up, what does he have, 12 goals already, 13?
Yeah, something like that.
Same with Ollie Watkins. Would you say he's world class? No, but that's kind of where it's at. These big teams don't have strikers. But let's get to the actual game here. Uh Wolves in the first, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes did not look all that great. It was a lot of Brentford early on.
Yes.
Uh really piling it on. It was about 15 to 20 minutes and then Wolves kind of started to find their stride in terms of attack and holding the ball. But before that, it was Brentford kind of pinning Wolves in and then also winning the ball and pushing up the field pretty quick.
Yeah, it was better to see Brentford play that way, pushing Wolves back. They had a
I
couple
also
big chances.
I don't know if I really have to apologize for talking about Reguilon because I was more making fun of him at being at United. I mean,
Mhm.
Brentford, that's like a perfect tier for him. Even Tottenham is when he's at Tottenham, that's not like a bad tier team for him. He's just not United tier. But he's been playing real well for Brentford, and they really need him to because they need that. That wing back play is so important for their team.
Yeah, I think it was a great pickup, and yeah, like you said, he might not be United tier, but he definitely can do a job, and
He's really
also
good for Brentford tier.
yeah, they really needed that position as well, the way they want to play.
Yes. Um, couple big chances early, but the first goal comes for Brentford. Norgard, little header from a Reguilon corner.
Yeah, just kind of getting in between Greg Dawson and Jose Saw there, drifting into space. It was a smart play from Norgard.
Yes. Um, also forgot to mention Cunha had to come off with an injury and he's going to be out. It's weird. They said for the year, and now Cunha's saying it might only be like a month or so. So I don't know what to make of it. We'll see. He's
Hmm.
at least out for like 4 to 5 weeks for sure. Potentially the year. We will see.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wolves had a couple big chances in response, but not able to score, unfortunately, for Wolves. And, you know, I thought Neto played pretty well, and that got me thinking too about because he's been rumored to Arsenal and Liverpool,
Hmm.
and I want to say Tottenham, but maybe it wasn't Tottenham. I know for sure Arsenal and Liverpool, but and they put a price tag on him of 70 mil. Do you think that would be activated? You think someone do that?
Um, I mean, I could
It's
see
a
him.
lot for like we know what he is because he's been in the Premier League, but
Yeah,
also it's only been 1 year where he's been like this amazing.
I think
But
he'd
then
fit in
again,
well on Tottenham with the counterattacking play. Quick build up that they sometimes like to do in terms of like an Arsenal. I don't think he'd fit in well, and you're not gonna play him
feel
over Saka.
yeah, I think he would be good for Liverpool or Tottenham.
Liverpool,
Um,
yeah,
I think even United, just because they technically kind of have a blank slate minus Hoyland in attack, in my opinion.
yeah,
Sure, you have
absolutely.
Rashford and stuff there, but he's always going to be a shoot first kind of guy, anyways, off the wing. Neto could be a little different creator. I think it'll be interesting to see. That'll be one of my main things to track this summer. Who's going hard after him? Um, what else stood out in this one? I thought Wolves actual like their wing backs in this one were pretty good. Ait Nouri and Semedo were pretty solid. Um,
Yeah, I thought
in this one.
getting into the second half, I thought Wolves looked much better in the second half,
Oh, they were by far the better team,
but
by far.
but Brentford, they just did well, with tactical fouls, slowing the game down,
And
stopping any momentum.
Flecken heard us talking trash about him because the last couple
Dude,
games
he's
he's
been
come up
cooking.
big. Yeah, he's
He
making
went
big save after big save.
he went absolutely nuts. I think was it their last game?
Record breaking against
He was
City, right?
yeah,
Like
he was standing
what
on
the
his
heck?
head.
Yeah, that was insanity. Wolves do get a goal from Craig Dawson, predicted top scorer by me to start the year for Wolves, and unfortunately it was just offside. Nice little glancing header too off the set piece.
Yeah. It it felt like that was a big momentum shift once that was disallowed. Because it seemed like when they scored that, it was like, oh, okay, Wolves, they're on the front foot. They get the goal. Can easily see him getting a second. But after that, goal was disallowed. Brentford really, you know,
Yeah,
doing
still
all they
Wolves
can to
for the
time
most
waste.
part.
And
Thomas Frank, really good job on the sub, taking off Maupay, who's been good lately, but just knowing the game, knowing the situation, puts it on Keane Lewis Potter. Better presser for a forward. He gets out there, immediately causes a turnover, and the ball goes to Yanalt, who gets a nice little swing ball into Ivan Toney, who slots it in,
yeah,
make it 2-0.
yeah, that wraps it up. Brentford, a very nice 2-0 victory against Wolves.
Yeah, good win on the road for Brentford. Not the best of performances. Like Jensen did not have that great of a game, but Norgard goal, Tony goal, couple important things done there. The Nathan Collins derby, one of the multiple ones that are out there. Uh, normally he's kind of crapped his pants in these meetings between his old team, so he held on in this one, got a clean sheet, so good for him.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next game. Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle.
Quite the game.
Quite the game. Find my notes here.
I
Yeah,
mean, it started off hot and heavy with Newcastle really clicking.
yeah, absolutely. 10 minutes in, Bruno G wide open at the back post after a well-worked corner kick routine from Newcastle, and he scores with a very solid first-time finish.
Yeah, this just kind of reminding you what Bruno Guimaraes can do. Obviously, hasn't been required to be as attack minded even last year, but specifically this year too. Um, but that first year he came on had a few more goals and assists, but You could just see the impact he has on this team when he's fully fit. He is so good. There's a reason that um he's rumored with moves away to clubs like Barcelona and stuff.
Yeah.
Whether they can
PSG.
afford him or not. Yeah, you never know. PSG, yeah, it's gonna be the Kabai pipeline.
Exactly. A big chance for Forrest Alanga getting in 1v1 with the keeper, but can't get the finish. But it's okay because 26 minutes and Forrest cut right through the middle. Gibbs White finds Alanga, and this time he scores past Dubravka to draw level.
Yeah, that first Alanga chance was kind of rough because he just kept like dribbling and then totally lost control and then like kind of wiped out. He like stepped on Dubravka. It's weird, but no, that was a nice sequence there. And obviously Gibbs White so massive for Forrest, and when he's not there, you can really tell. Wani being out there was good. Um, I like the kind of shape that Nuno actually had them going in this game. With Alonga kind of more as a winger, but can go up front too. Same with Hudson Odoi. Uh, but yeah, great finish by Alonga.
After that, there's some action just before halftime. And who else scores other than that freaking man on fire, Fabian Schär? This guy
He's
keeps scoring
unstoppable.
goals.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty terrible marking
It
by
was absolutely terrible.
Forrest for Botman. The Botman to share connection, like with the scenario that it was like, it was just not good. Not good marking by Forrest defense.
Yeah. But you know what? They draw level just before halftime. Hudson Odoi scoring with a deflected shot after cutting inside.
Hudson Odoi, they're getting a good amount out of him, more than I thought that they would have. I mean, it's one of those where it's almost like a Damari Gray like 2.0 signing, where it's just like whatever. He's like 4 mil. We'll take a flyer on him and see.
Yeah.
And he's done enough, and every goal matters for Forest at this point because if they're staying up or going down or what'll happen because they're gonna fight for their Premier League status. But Dominguez, nice little assist, even though it just came down to the massive deflection.
Mm-hmm. Goes into halftime. 2-2. Second half. Forest score in the 50th minute. Awonyi getting in behind, but was well offside.
You really built that up, Sam.
I know. I did. It was very much.
It was
After
not
that,
close.
things started to get a little chippy. Gibbs White and Sven Botman getting into a shoving match.
We know that you're gonna defend Gibbs White because you hate the Dutch.
Well, exactly. I mean, who doesn't? Come on, let's be real. Even the Dutch hate the Dutch.
Something like that.
Something like that. Potential penalty shout, 63rd minute. Awonyi getting in behind, and then some slight contact with Dubravka. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I wouldn't have called it, but yeah, I could see where you'd be coming from.
It was pretty minimal in
Yeah.
terms of contact.
It's at least one of those where you have to have the discussion, but yeah, no, it shouldn't be called.
Yeah. Few
I just
minutes
want to see
after that.
Newcastle. I'm gonna cut you off here real quick. I just need to see Newcastle get Harvey Barnes out there constantly and starting after his
Absolutely.
long delay, and he's been back these last few games. I just got to see him out there. Almiron hasn't been like terrible, but he's been nowhere near last year's form. That's for sure. So the sooner they get Harvey Barnes out there, we said he'd be a big impact guy for him, and he has when he plays,
Yeah,
but hasn't played all that
absolutely.
much.
I was going to call him the forgotten boy, but then I remembered Lou Hall is on Newcastle. So
35 or 25 mil? No, 30. 35 mil pound Lou Hall. What a man. What a legend. How about Paul Dummett? Is he a forgotten man? Because he's on the
well,
bench for Newcastle.
I think
He's
that's
like,
just a ghost of Newcastle's past.
there's Newcastle's past, and then this is like 2016 Newcastle, Paul Dummett.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be like near a decade there.
Well, as they say in the business, there's levels to this game.
It feels like someone at Newcastle, he's got dirt on them, or there's like a. Remember Sean Dyche at Burnley would like keep the same team for like 6 years. It
Yes.
just wouldn't change anything. He's just stuck there. He might be going Office Space mode, and
Yeah.
he's actually not even on the payroll. He just shows up. Like he was fired 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. All right, so wrapping up this game, Newcastle get the winner 67 minutes in. Poor giveaway from Elanga. Sees Bruno pick up the ball at the top of the box and score. Some question marks on the goalkeeping, I thought. Seemed
Mr.
like
Sells,
Sells could have done better. It looked like he got a fingertip
maybe
to it.
maybe Forrest just is cursed for
They are
having a
cursed.
terrible goalie.
They've taken the Southampton goalkeeper curse.
Yes.
Many goalkeepers, all terrible.
Have come and go, and they all suck.
Yeah. So that one ends 3-2 for Newcastle.
Callum Wilson out for the year now after they're looking to offload him, and
Tore
then
his
he gets in a
pectoral.
tussle match for no reason at the end of the game, and now he's out for the year.
Yeah.
Rip to Callum Wilson.
Literally rip his pectoral
All,
muscle.
yeah. Also rip to West Ham, but we'll get to that in a second. One last thing on Newcastle. How are you feeling about Newcastle right now? They're sitting at 36. They're tied with West Ham on points, ahead of them on goal differential. 1 point ahead of Brighton, 2 points ahead of Chelsea.
I think they'll just kind of stay where they are. I think their
You think
defense
7?
is pretty suspect.
They looked fine this game. I think the deflection kind of deflates the performance, but then again, it's Forest, lads. Like I would hope you're not conceding many chances to where you're like, oh my god, to
It just
Forest.
seems like they get exposed at the back sometimes when they probably shouldn't. And then it's like,
They do, and part of that is I just think that the midfield coverage hasn't been quite as good. No Joe Linton and stuff.
yeah, for sure.
And I think one thing that no one's ever talked about, there's not a ton of pace back there. Burn,
No.
Botman, Shar, and Trippier. That's like that's about as slow of a back line as you can get. So we'll see. We got Lou Miley and Longstaff out there. It's not going to be the same as Joe Linton and Sandro. So, but we'll see. I say Sandro like the old Tottenham QPR guy, Sandro Tonali.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Sunday, Arsenal and West Ham. Sam, you had a good meal.
It was a
Wonderful
good meal.
food.
Very
Wonderful
unexpected.
food. I mean, I think I just cursed West Ham by saying I like them a lot, and then Moyes just said, "What if we sat back every game and
Well,
soaked up pressure?"
Well, it's weird though because they've been solid defensively and they've leaned into that. They've said, okay, we're gonna, keep teams at bay, not allow them to score, maybe hit on the counter. It's not like we're gonna dominate possession or anything. We're gonna sit back and our defense will do the work, and that's how we'll earn our keep. But now they've just been sitting back. But their defense has looked so bad.
It's bad, but they also like cannot get the ball to Bowen at all. And
Yeah.
Kudus like tried to cook. Ben Johnson being like forward.
Yeah, what
in
was
the end,
that?
That was disgraceful. That was like football terrorism
Yeah,
by David Moyes.
David Moyes, you've gone too far.
Yeah, that was not acceptable. That's like a dog, like an old dog peeing in the house or something, or like a cat crapping
Yeah.
outside and you're like, what are you doing?
Come
You
on.
know better than that. Come on.
Yeah, it's just when you
And
rely
also,
so heavily on defense.
yeah, and then in like the 45th minute, putting on Phillips and Mavropanos, and it's like, oh, this will stop the bleeding. It's like, I have news for you. No, it won't.
Well, Phillips, yeah, definitely not.
I don't know if Calvin Phillips is a Premier League player.
He's fallen a long
His
ways.
his fitness went to crap, but I feel like it's partially like it fell so bad and he became such a meme that it's like his like confidence is totally in the tubes.
Well, now he just like gives away the ball and will just, you know, make a
Yeah.
terrible tackle after.
Yeah.
It's not
I
very good
don't.
play.
He needs to go to like a bad team and just get like a ton of playing time, and that's his only hope. And even then, that might not save him. Uh, let's get to the goals here because it wasn't like Arsenal were killing him right off the bat. It really just
Took a bit.
came down to they get the goal with Saliba
Yeah,
from
from a
Rice.
corner.
Yeah, and that was just well worked set piece. And then there's that kind of just run where they created some like half chances. And then like right before half, it just like totally like fell apart. Like just insane how
Yeah.
much it fell apart.
Yeah, exactly. Saka getting the penalty. Then a few minutes later, Gabriel scoring. That was from a corner too. And then Trossard just a couple minutes after that.
Yeah, the corner goals were almost inexcusable because it's like even if you're bad at defense, like you're West Ham, you're supposed to be good at set pieces, and this is I don't know what that was.
West Ham's defense this entire game just looked like they were standing in mud. They were so much slower than all of the Arsenal players.
Aguerd is gone after this year. I will tell you that much. Kurt Zuma, I think West Ham fans will talk themselves into keeping him and give him another shot, but there's a chance he could just be gone too.
Yeah, he was pretty bad.
I
Goes
saw
into
this one
halftime.
thing by West Ham fans real quick, to where they're like, think of all the guys that we've signed since like 2012, since they last got promoted for center back, and the best one we signed for like 3 mil, and it was Craig Dawson. I was like, I think that's right. I think Craig Dawson has been West Ham's best defender, well, center back for like the entire time they've been up. And it makes you wonder, like, why did they let him go? I get he kind of wanted to be closer to home, so that's why he went to Wolves, but I don't know. I don't know how your best center back you've had is Craig Dawson for like a decade, but I guess.
Goes into halftime, 4-0. Couple more goals on the other side. Saka getting one. And then Declan Rice capping it off with a nice curler.
Declan Rice, that goal sucked.
Yeah, that goal did suck. The West Ham fans leaving before halftime, that was pretty good.
I don't get this whole like West Ham being so petty about Declan Rice like leaving for Arsenal.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's very much like I don't
It's not
know
like he
what to
left on
compare it
bad
to.
terms or anything.
He won them a
He won
European
him a
trophy.
trophy.
What is well, yeah.
He got him
What did
100
you
million
think?
transfer fee.
Yeah. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen. Like, did you think he was gonna stay forever and re-up? I don't. It makes no sense. It's like a forced rivalry that they're trying, and Arsenal's like whatever. Um, yeah. I mean, 6-0. Oh my God! Don't post that picture in this chat. That's so cursed because look at Garnacho. Yeah, he's like a little chihuahua. And
Meanwhile,
McTom.
McTom looks like a duck.
McTom. I feel like we've talked about in the pod, but he's the Scottish Fellaini.
He is. Absolutely.
So finishes 6-0. West Ham. I mean, it's only up from here, so you got that going for you.
Ugh.
West Arsenal back at the title race, according to everyone except for Sam.
Yeah, I mean, you got City on cruise control.
They're still in there.
But I digress.
It's either you're in the title race or you're in the race for top 4.
In the race
And you definitely
for
have.
the third spot out of the top
Or are
3.
you're in the rare company of Chelsea with Tuchel a few years ago, where they were cemented in third by like 7 points above them was like City and Liverpool, and then like 10 points below them was Arsenal and Tottenham, and
Yeah.
they're just like, what are we playing for? We're just we have to play games. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it'll be Arsenal and Liverpool for second. But anyway, speaking of
see.
title charges, Manchester
Aston
United
Villa.
mounting a title
Oh.
charge. Doing a title
Second half of
charge.
the year. Doing a title charge. Just know that I blamed Jane for why Villa lost. because we left the hotel to go do our stuff for the day, and I'm not even kidding. Like 2 minutes after we left, Hoyland scored. I was like, "You blew
Ugh.
it. Your team conceded because you left. They lost all faith in you."
Abandoned.
Also, I just want to say this about this game. I'm gonna need anything other than long lay out there. I'm gonna need anything else. Pack the midfield, throw another attacker on. I don't care. Don't stop with long lay. I don't need
Yeah,
to see him. I've seen enough.
it's like, oh, this guy sneak into the team. Like, did you guys notice like that you put him out there? Why is he playing?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I get if you need to rest Pau Torres, but also there has to be a better option. There just has to be.
There must be.
Yes.
Got some
Uh,
injury woes
they
over
do.
at Aston
It's
Villa.
it's it's hitting them. But there's no Harry Maguire woes at United. He only
Slabbed.
he's getting some assists out there. I can't believe, I just found this out. This is one of those kind of sneaky, like, where people talk about age and you're like, how old is it? He's 30.
Yeah.
Doesn't really feel like it. He feels like he'd be like 27 or something, 28 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, not with me on that one.
I mean, yeah, I think 30 is about right for me personally, but
Okay. I mean, he's been around for a while with
yeah,
Hull and Leicester.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, like you said, United taking the lead there 17 minutes in, and then after that, Villa just did not look very sharp in attack in this game.
no, their passing and build up right now is kind of stinky.
They
It's
look
very much Leon
so out of
Bailey.
sorts.
It's very Leon Bailey reliant.
Yeah.
They got we've been saying it for what they got to get Diaby going. That's like their main issue right now. Is he's just almost like a zero. Obviously doesn't start this game, but he does come on early in the second half. Just not going. Bit reliant on the fullbacks, and it's not really going right now with Cash and Moreno. They're not playing bad, but they're not playing like amazing.
It's
John
just weird
McGinn, kind of a rough game.
to see how well they were playing, and then like a game like this, they almost looked like they had no chemistry, which
Yeah.
like, well, how'd that happen?
How'd you feel about Bruno this game?
How did I feel about Bruno? I don't know.
I
How'd you
actually
feel
kind of
about
like
Bruno?
what he was. I actually
You
kind
like
of
him
like
out
what he
there?
was doing for not like creating that many chances and stuff. He was kind of in a different sort of role for them, but I actually kind of liked what he was doing out there. I feel like the only guy I didn't like for United was Casemiro. He looked like a piece of poop out there.
Okay.
But that's just
I
me.
mean, I definitely prefer Bruno playing in a 10.
100%. But this is United. They're rolling right now, so can't doubt Ten Hag, brah.
Oh, he was playing in a 10, right?
Well, yeah, but
I mean, the
it
United
hasn't
10.
been for a good while.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't doubt what Ten Hag's doing with the lineup ever.
No,
Ever.
absolutely not.
Trying to think of anything that happened in the first half as far as chances.
Yeah, it's just kind of like half chances for Villa.
Yeah. Are you believing in Hoyland now that he got that goal? Feeling good?
I never was like Hoyland is terrible. I think it always just came down to like the service. It's like, okay, he fluffed some chances, but he also is new to the league and gets no service, so I think you gotta.
Well, that's been United for the last few years, where it's just like, yeah, you got to create your own shot and score your own goal for the most part. Bruno will create once in a while, but they don't really have anyone. They tried to get Ericsson to be a secondary creator, and he's just so toast. It's not even funny.
He is very much toast.
Rough Garnacho game. This game, I guess he'd probably be the silver medal to Casemiro as far as how it looked out there. But yeah, So it goes in halftime 1-0. Second half, Sam. Villa came alive a little bit. Watkins had a good chance. They actually looked like doing something. Diaby comes on for Kamara, make it a little more attack minded, and then your boy Doug Lewis.
Yeah, but he made a fatal mistake after he smashed it home after the
He
corner.
celebrated too soon.
He hit the
But he hit him.
shimmy.
The shimmy was dirty though.
Dude,
He
it
gave
was
him the
so
Viva La
dirty.
Raza.
The
He
the
gave
point
him
blank
the on
shimmy.
the knee, just
Yeah,
right in
on the
Onana's face.
knee. It's like, holy, that was so dirty, right in his face, right in Onana's face. Like, bro, that man's got a family.
Onana should have tried to fight him on the spot. Should have freaked out and tried to fight him. Just
Don't shimmy in my
freak
face.
out. It's just total freak out for no reason over a sporting event.
It was
Um,
just so random. Like, hit the one knee shimmy. Like,
Yeah, because he doesn't even do that
so
after
funny.
scores a penalty or anything. It
So
was
funny.
insanity. Good meal for Doug Luiz. Good meal for McTom, who I mean, what is there to say about him at this point? It feels like next year he'll probably come in and have like 2 or 3 goals. Right? Like it doesn't feel like any of this is sustainable. He's just gonna come in next year and go back to being McTom. But right now, he is just riding the wave.
It is very strange.
If United get like 5th or 6th, not only is he their player of the year, probably, is he like an honorable mention for team of the season?
He's like the 12th man of the year.
Yeah, I think he might be. There should be like a sub of the year.
Yeah.
off the bench sub of the year, and it's McTom.
He's
I
the
mean, how many
ultimate
times has he
bailout.
saved them?
Too many.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insanity. I'd love to see how many points he's won for United. Yeah, Dallo to McTom, 86. Look at that picture. It's absurd.
Fantastic.
Villa make a couple late changes. A little wide play with Digne coming on for Moreno and Zaniolo coming on for McGinn. I just felt like McGinn, it was not his kind of game. Not to say that he shouldn't start or anything. He should probably always start, but I guess if I was to pick it differently, I don't know why Ramsey's out there, and I already talked about Longley, but I don't know. It
Yeah.
feels like Emery's just kind of grasping at straws right now.
Yeah, trying to find things that work. I mean, I think I prefer Tielemans to Ramsey at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Tielemans was playing better a little earlier this year. He's dropped off a bit, but I mean, Ramsey, I just don't see it right now. And this is a big game.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a must win, but like for sure a must draw. You cannot afford to lose this game at home. But Villa are like losing their home merchant status like instantly.
That they are.
Going down 3-0 to Chelsea and Chelsea actually dominate you, albeit the FA Cup, but still Villa played their full regular squad. Not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all. And United, they're up to 6th. You really jinxed that by saying they wouldn't move up the table. What, like 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah, until I saw that they're ungodly in the month of
February.
February. And guess what? It's a
Yeah.
leap year. There's 29 days in February.
They're trying to maximize their
They're min-maxing
They're
February.
yeah. They play Luton and Fulham, and then they have one more in February, but it's a FA Cup game against Forest. After that, when it turns to March, it's City, Everton, Sheffield, Brentford, Chelsea, Liverpool. So I mean, they have a pretty manageable schedule, you know. The only super tough teams they have remaining are Arsenal, Liverpool, and City, and then a few kind of decent to mediocre, depending on the right day, with Chelsea and Brighton and Newcastle. So it could happen, Sam. They could get 5th somehow, 5th or 4th. Wouldn't rule it out.
Never rule out the United title charge.
Um,
How about the Chelsea title charge?
Yeah, I think they got it. Do
I
you think
think
they
they
get
got
second?
it, dude.
I think they get
I think
second.
they got it.
Oh my God, that first half by Chelsea, I don't know what to tell you.
How about
What was that attack?
how about Madueke putting out like a 1 out of 10 performance in this?
I don't agree with that. I think he put in a negative performance.
Yeah,
He kept
he
falling
broke
over.
the
He was
scale.
passing to like nobody. I don't know what that was.
Holy smokes!
It was stinky. It was so stinky. Um, I don't know if anyone really played all that well in the first half for Chelsea, to
No.
be fair. it I just don't know what to say. And part of that is their setup. Sometimes like Chelsea just totally empty out the midfield. Have you noticed that? I guess it depends on like the game and the camera angle, but like if you look, there's just like everyone's on the sidelines, one or the other sidelines, and there's just no one in the middle of the field. And I get the idea of like if the ball's in the middle of the field and you lose it and you turn it over, that creates a amazing counter attack opportunity for the other team. But playing like that and playing scared, like you can't afford to play like that and just give away the middle of the field attack wise. That's just
Yeah.
silly. And then it ends up in a game like this where you're just doing nothing. Palace get their first chance and they score off of it. 30th minute. Madueke literally like tossed Caicedo a hand grenade. He like passed it back when Caicedo had two guys on him. And Caicedo got sandwiched between them. Ball lost, and Lerma just took a curler from there.
Yeah, I mean that
Very
was a
nice goal. It
nutty
even got
finish.
Martin Tyler to be
I
out of his
know, I know.
Crystal Palace and Chelsea
What was
kind
it?
of voice. He was like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
because one of the first Gallagher goal, his call was like Gallagher. Yeah,
Gallagher
it was like,
response as he blasts it like
bro, what?
upper net. Yeah. Um, I thought Palace played pretty well for whatever reason. Chris Richards, like he's just good in general, but in this game, I thought he was really killing it defensively. Um,
Yeah, I like him
thought
at center back.
thought Hughes played pretty well in this game. Um, all of Palace's defense was pretty solid, but they didn't have to do much in the first half. Goes to halftime, 1-0 Palace. Second half, Chelsea sub on and Cuckoo for Madueke. And Chelsea get an instant response. Nice little 1-2 with Caicedo to Gusto up the wing. Malagusto squaring it for Gallagher. Gallagher
That was
ripping
a
it
great
home.
finish, to be fair, with that how
Yeah,
the ball bounced up.
absolutely. Gallagher has to just be around Crystal Palace to be good. He's either
Yes,
playing against them or with them. He feels the power of Selhurst flowing in his veins. Uh,
absolutely. Eagle energy.
yeah, it's pretty much. Um, after that, pretty dull, grind out game between both sides. Didn't really have a good grip on who was gonna win. Uh, I guess Palace's best chance of the second half was probably when Mateus Franca ran right up the gut. Central of the field took a rip, but it was pretty much right at Petrovic.
Yeah.
And then towards the death, Chelsea, they get the goal. Nice little build-up play, quick counter-attack with Chelsea going forward. Cole Palmer finding Conor Gallagher, Sam, to make it 2-1.
That man again. Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea's. I said to start the year their best player, but you'd probably say that's Cole Palmer at this point.
Cool Paul.
Yeah. Uh, and then Chelsea cap it off, another counterattack after they win the ball. Really a 1-on or a 3-on-2 scenario. Cole Palmer sliding it through to Enzo Fernandez, who absolutely had the ball on a string going against the new right back Munoz. That was pretty dirty. Just ripping it past Dean Henderson. I just thought it was great that Cole Palmer didn't ever play Nkunku in when he clearly could have been in. And then Enzo Fernandez didn't square it for Nkuku either, and took the shot. That was pretty great.
They're threatened by him.
Clearly, they just said we're not passing you the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, in that second goal, I don't know if you remember. You probably don't because it's a meaningless game and a meaningless goal. But like
In a
Chilwell, like
meaningless world.
shanking, trying to hoof the ball up the field and like shanking it backwards and like giving Palace a half chance, which allowed Chelsea to counterattack, was the most like tactical IQ
4D
9,000.
chess.
Yeah, 9,000 IQ play by Ben Chilwell to shank it backwards on purpose. Yeah, Chelsea take all 3 points, 3-1. Nicholas Jackson being subbed off gets a yellow card for running on the field to celebrate with the team.
Respect. I mean,
He has
huge win for Chelsea.
I think 10 yellows this year, and one is from a foul.
Holy smokes.
That guy's the most non-serious player I think I've ever seen at Chelsea. And I've seen a handful of not
I've seen a
serious
lot
guys.
of Chelsea players.
I've seen a lot of Bakayoko's in my day. I've seen a lot of non-serious players. Let's move on. Matchweek 25.
Should we just quickly mention Crystal Palace? Sounds like Roy
Oh yeah,
is out of a
Roy took a
job.
turn for the worse. Well, first off, he had a big health scare at training,
Yeah, and then they
which is
said, we're
not.
sacking you.
Yeah, they got to wait to make sure he's okay, but he had to go to the hospital. The players were obviously like traumatized by the situation. It's like this is probably why people aren't supposed to work when they're 76, 77 years old.
Yes.
It's not a thing that should happen. Especially when you're taxing Roy with like putting all this pressure on him to get certain results, and you weren't really spending until the winter window. All the injuries and stuff, it just piled up and he had a rough go. So we hope Roy Hodgson does well, recovers well.
Big up to
Sounds
Roy.
like, yeah, he's going to be out of a job. And I mean, part of that's results. Part of it is for his own health and safety. Ollie Glasner, Sam,
I like it.
won a European trophy with Eintracht Frankfurt not that long ago. Very good hire. Has a track record getting, what was that? Like, I think he's with the Swedish team. Took him from second division and then took him to like Champions League qualifiers and stuff for a few years. So we will see. We will see. I believe in it. It has to be. It has to be good. So, okay. Now match week 25.
Yes.
Okay. Brentford, Liverpool.
Well, you're big on Brentford. Can they do it?
I'm big on Ivan Toney and Mark Flecken.
Mark Flecken.
No, I don't think they'll win this one, even though they beat Liverpool at home before. I need to see like a Maupay versus Darweezy Habibi. Like, yeah, they're just going at it. That's what I need to see. I don't even know how Liverpool's going to really line up in this one. They'll probably just keep the same lineup and just go Shimikas in. So, if Brentford's midfield can kind of just slow down Liverpool somewhat, I think Brentford's attack can definitely will have the capability to score a goal in this one. I'll say Liverpool. It gets a little dicey for them, and I think it ends up 2-2.
I think Brentford, I think they can do it. I'm going to say 2-1 Brentford.
Okay. Burnley, Arsenal. I think Burnley can do it, Sam. I think 5-0.
I agree, 100%.
I think Datro Fofana has a point to prove after the last game. Looking like one of the worst players ever. Arsenal. This is at Turf Moor, right?
It is. It is. I'm going to say 3-0
I don't know.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I just really have a hard time with trusting Burnley's defense. And Arsenal, should they have won 6-0 last game? maybe not, but it was definitely 4 or 5 was actually fair, regardless. I mean, 6 that's like being perfect. Um, so even if they're not perfect this game, they could easily still win like 3-0. So I'll go 3-0 Arsenal.
Fulham versus Villa.
How do you not go Fulham here?
Yeah, I
I
think
might have to wager
maybe
on
a
this,
draw.
Sammy.
Maybe a draw,
You
but
think so?
Villa, they've kind of been on a skid.
Villa almost Villa. It's one of those where it's like Villa's the better team.
Yes.
Villa is a little out of form now. Fulham's not quite like in form, but like we said, they play better at home. But it's one of those. Do you just bet on pedigree where Villa come out and they just play better? Um, I don't know. I'm gonna go 2-1 Fulham.
I think I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw.
Okay. Newcastle Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth haven't really
Big
impressed.
ties in this one.
Yes, big ties, big Newcastle Bournemouth pipeline.
Yeah.
The Matt Ritchie derby, so to say.
Yes.
But I still feel like that Newcastle defense, could get
It's
exposed.
shaky. It's
I-
shaky.
I think they'll win, but I don't
St.
think they'll keep a clean
St.
sheet.
James, the energy's still up, but it's not quite the fortress like
Yeah.
last year because the defense isn't quite as good. And Bournemouth, did they win there last year? Or they tied?
I know Bournemouth beat Newcastle at home, didn't they?
I believe this year, yes.
Yeah, this year.
I don't know. Bournemouth
and
kind of feel out of form.
They drew
I'm gonna go.
1-1.
I'm gonna go Newcastle 2-1, but I don't feel spectacular about Newcastle.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2-1 Newcastle.
Good. Forest West Ham. This is like battle for most out of form team in the league right now.
I don't know. At least Forest, they haven't
Score.
completely died.
Okay, you're right. Chelsea West Ham would be battle for most out of form team.
Dude, Chelsea are cooking, man. Big 3-1 win. Big 3-1 win.
I
think-
had to quote tweet a NBC power poll this week that had Chelsea as the 5th best team in form, and United weren't up there, and I had to drop the no United. Like, how's United not a top 5 team right now in form?
Yeah, I think I'd take them over Chelsea.
That's not even a question. I think
Um,
United might be like the 3rd most informed team.
I think Forest win this one.
You do.
Yeah, I think so.
So you think it's going to start to pile up for West Ham to the point to where Moyes might be out before the end of the year?
At this rate, yes.
Okay. Yeah, this definitely feels like the turning point game because like West Ham could win this game and then you're just like, oh, I guess it's not. They'll be able to make it till the end of the year. But yeah, I'll probably go with a 2-2 draw on this one. I think we'll have a heavy scoring week this week.
I'm going to say 2-0 Forest.
Okay. Tottenham, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves got the best of Tottenham at the death last time. They late impact FC. They out impacted late impact FC. I can't even talk right now. It's been a long day. I don't know. No Cunha, so they'll be relying on Neto and Sarabia to really lead the line. It'd be interesting to see what Wolves do for attack. I don't feel great about the attack specifically, unfortunately. Really feeling the impact of no Hwang Hee-chan, but he'll be coming back relatively soon, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
So I'm gonna go Tottenham 2-1 in this one.
I think this one will be kind of the way the first 30 minutes goes. I think that'll kind of dictate how the rest of the game goes. I think Tottenham, a lot of possession. I am going to say 2-0 Tottenham.
That makes me feel nervous that we're both picking Tottenham in that one.
Well, that's okay. Then Wolves win and we all win.
Yeah. City Chelsea.
Oh boy, this will be an absolute treat.
Me and Sam are actually gonna watch this one live. Let's come into the dealership.
I'd rather
He's gonna
scoop
pull up
my eyes out.
with an ice cream scooper.
I'd do it with my bare hands.
He's just pluck them out.
Just pluck them out.
Um, I did want to give you a hot take about Chelsea real quick. Uh, are we sure Malagusto is not better than Reece James?
Oh, okay.
Are we
Well, I
sure?
mean, he plays games, so at this point, yes.
I don't know. I think he might just be better. That
Maybe.
might turn into a hit for Chelsea, which the bar's low, but he can at least defend, and he's actually half decent at dribbling. He doesn't do it a ton, but he's half decent. Um, I want to bet like $1 million that Man City's first goal in this game comes because Ben Chilwell messes up,
Okay.
or Thiago Silva if he starts, which I would assume he does, because why not? They'll probably throw Sterling and Silva out there, and Chelsea will lose 2-0. City will grind it out.
Yeah, 2-0.
I just don't do this to me, Poch. If Poch does this one more time where it's Sterling and Silva, I think I'm going to be on Poch out board. Team Poch out. I can't stand it. The Sterling and Silva, it just makes my blood boil.
I don't blame you.
Sheffield Brighton.
Can
Can
Sheffield
Brighton?
capitalize on their huge victory against Luton? I don't think so.
No. This feels like a Brighton cook sesh. This feels like for no reason it's like 7-0 and you're like, "Oh my god." Um with that said, I'll go Brighton 3-1.
I'll say 4-2.
I like it. I like where we're going with that. We're on the same page. Luton Man U.
Well, it's February and it's United.
Yeah, but it's at the Ken.
At the Ken.
Are they gonna low block? Are they gonna copy Sheffield strategy? Man U low block against Luton.
That'd be awesome. Make it happen.
Ten Hag is too much of a tactical mastermind to allow that to happen. Yeah, I don't know about this one specifically as far as what I'm looking at in the game. I'll see if Bruno keeps playing to where I actually don't mind watching him. I think that's what I'm gonna be watching for. Maybe Hoyland to keep scoring. He can't be stopped right now.
Yeah. Perhaps.
I think I'm gonna go with a 3-2 United victory.
I think United they'll have to work for it. I don't think that they'll be super dominant in this game. I'm gonna say 2-1
Yeah.
United.
Okay. Everton Palace to round off this like regular week, but then we have a couple more games to talk about.
Yeah, this is a pretty stinky game.
It feels like a 6-pointer,
It does.
but I don't know if it truly is because I don't think Palace can go down. In my deepest, like my mind says mathematically yes they can, but my heart says they can't, and it makes no sense why.
Yeah.
Do you think it completely throws him off that Roy had the episode, or do you think that it unites them, or do you think it just doesn't matter because they don't have Etse or Olise?
Yeah, I think option C.
Okay.
I think Everton win this one 1-0.
Okay. I think it will be a 1-1 draw. That's what I think. I think your boy Franca gets a goal. The Brazilian wonder kid. Or Jordan Ayew.
Jordan. All right.
Oh, you
into
know what we
the-
didn't talk about real quick with Palace. Jordan Ayew set a record for player with like the longest losing streak in the top flight against a club. He's lost to Chelsea 16 straight times.
I like it. I like
That's
it.
insanity. He's never beat Chelsea. Yeah, what are the other two games we have left?
We got City versus Brentford.
Okay.
City,
Yeah, I mean that two
sometimes
tough games for Brentford.
have had some issues with Brentford. They did the double over them.
Yep.
Brentford did.
Yeah. I would say that the way that they kind of pack that midfield and make City work for it will definitely be tough. City will be limited in terms of chances. I say that's City's one of their two slip ups before like the end of the year. And I
Could
think it's
be.
like a 1-1 draw. Not even a loss, that's their slip up is a draw.
1-1 draw. That's pretty good. I'm going to say 1-0 City.
Okay. Liverpool Luton. Luton with the
Luton. Speaking of
little
slip
double
up
trouble.
games, Luton played them tough last time they played them.
Yes.
A 1-1 draw.
Unfortunately, I think Liverpool at home are going to cook. They're going to cook this game. So I'm going to go with a Liverpool 2-0 victory.
I'm going to say Liverpool 4-1.
Wow.
I think Luton
What's
have
your
just been kind of shaky out of the back.
Yeah. What are you looking at for a prediction this week?
My prediction, well, last week I said Willian was going to score, and he almost did. He played pretty good.
I mean, might as well with that assist that he dropped. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, about as good as a goal. I'm going to say Nottingham Forest. You know who scores for Nottingham Forest?
Can I guess?
Take a guess.
Chris Wood.
Not Chris Wood.
Not Ryan Yates.
Not Ryan Yates.
My God, they have so many guys on their team. I'm gonna say Gio Reyna.
Gio Reyna. He came on as a sub. He looked all right. He looked all right. He was, he looked all right. I think he gets a goal against West Ham. I mean, they look horrific. They don't even move.
Yeah.
So I think I
No.
could score against West Ham.
Potentially with Ben Johnson at left wing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold a
All
clean
right.
sheet against West Ham.
That'll wrap it up for another episode.
Yes. Premiership Perusal Podcast. Keep on perusing, folks.
Keep on
Go
perusing.
out there and keep on believing in McTom.
Yes. Absolutely. All right. Until next time, we'll see you.
Adios, mis amigos.